So today we're going to learn how to properly read a ruler or a tape measure or a scale. And in order to do that, we need to understand how the ruler works. When we take a look at a ruler, try to zoom in here, we see that there's dashes going down the ruler. And these dashes are a form of measurement. This one over here happens to say eighths. If I was to move this over to this side, it says sixteenths. What that means is that between each inch, there is 16 lines right here, and on this one here, there is 8 lines in between each one. So this scale reads to the nearest eighth of an inch, and this scale reads to the nearest 16th of an inch. We're going to go over exactly how all that works right now. If I come over to the board right here, I'm going to draw the end of my ruler. I'm going to put the number 0. We wouldn't see that on a ruler, but we're going to call that the end of the ruler at 0. This down here will be 1 inch. And in between this big inch is going to be our dashes. So we're going to fill it in. We're going to measure to the nearest 16th of an inch, which is plenty fine for anything that we will have to do here in wood shop. Let's count how many lines we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So between this big inch and including our end, there is a total of 16 lines. This will measure to the nearest 16th of an inch. If there was 8 lines in between here, what would it measure to? The nearest eighth of an inch. Now, when we go and figure out what this all means, we're going to say, you know what? Since this is a 16th of an, there's 16 lines, this one measures the nearest 16th of an inch. We're going to start off by putting what all of these numbers can equal. And our denominator, which is our bottom number, we are always going to start off with the denominator being this total number. So what's our denominator going to be for this right here? 16. So, how many lines in is this one? 1. 16. What's this one?
2.
What's this one?
3.
Next.
4. 5. 6.
What is 16 divided by 16? What is any number divided by itself?
1. Itself.
So, the reason why this here is 1 is because that number right there divided by itself is 1. So some of these numbers are the correct way to say it. All of these numbers are correct. However, would you ever hear me say I want you to measure that to 8/16 of an inch. What would I say? I would say half. So let's write how we would properly say these numbers. We're going to break these fractions down. Any number that has a odd number on the top will not be able to be divided by the bottom number for an equal number. So this one here, this is how we say it. 1/16, 3/16, 5/16, 7/16, 9/16, 11/16, 13/16, and 15/16. The rest of these can be divisible by a certain number. And here's what I do. All right? We're just going to keep dividing it by 2 until we get down to an even number. Or I'm sorry, an odd number. So 2 divided by 2 is
1.
16 divided by 2 is
8.
Is that an odd number?
Yes.
Is that how I would say that?
Yes.
Is 2/16 a correct measurement?
Yes.
What would I say?
1/8.
Correct. This one's done. 4 divided by 2.
2.
16 divided by 2.
8.
Am I done?
Negative.
Why not?
Because it has an even number in the numerator.
2 divided by 2.
1.
8 divided by 2.
4.
Hey, quarter of an inch. Let's come down here. 6 divided by 2.
3.
16 divided by 2.
8.
Am I done?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's an odd number in the
Can't break it down anymore. Correct. Right? 8 divided by 2.
4.
16 divided by 2.
8.
8.
Am I done?
Negative.
Divided by 2.
6.
2.
Divided by 2.
4.
Am I done?
Negative.
2 divided by 2.
1.
4 divided by 2.
2.
Hey, half of an inch. And that's the halfway point. That's the second longest line other than the ends. All right, the third longest line are going to be my quarters. My fourth longest line are going to be my eighths. And my shortest lines are my sixteenths. 10, all right, 9/16, we're good here. 10 divided by 2.
5.
16 divided by 2.
8.
5 eighths. How about 12 divided by 2?
6.
16 divided by 2.
8.
Am I done?
Negative.
Why not?
That's
6 divided by 2.
3.
8 divided by 2.
4.
3/4. That's 3/4 of the way down the scale. All right, got one left here. 14 divided by 2.
7.
And 16 divided by 2.
8.
Are we done?
Yes.
Yes, sir. All of these measurements here are true. They're correct measurements. It might not be the way that I would say it, but all of these are true. I couldn't say, well, 14/16 isn't correct, because it is correct. I would just say, well, that's 7/8, because we simplify it. All of these numbers right here are in between 1 inch. And if we take a look at my ruler goes inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches. Technically, we're on this side because we're on the 16. 1, 2. So this is between every number. Could I take this number and make it the number 1 and make this number the number 2?
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, this right here with the number 0, what is this measurement right here? Half of an inch. If this was the number 1 and this was the number 2, what would this measurement be? 1.5. What if this number was number 8? What would this measurement be?
8.5.
Because it just keeps going in between each one, correct?
Yep.
Absolutely. So reading the ruler is actually very easy. Start small. It'll come with some time. Just remember, all right? Figure out how many numbers you have right there. That's always going to be your denominator. Then you count the number of lines and you put that over your denominator. I happen to be down here. All right, that's 10 past. And there's 16 total, so it's 10 over 16. Oh, Mr. Brown says I would do that at 5/8. It's not that hard. With a little bit of practice, you'll be in great shape.